Welcome to Well-Rooted Wellness, the podcast that's here to help you find your balance in life. Whether it's through mental health, wellness tips, or even a little gardening. This show is your go-to source for practical advice, personal stories, and the occasional laugh, all while reminding you it's okay not to have it all figured out. So, get comfortable, and let's dig into another episode of Well-Rooted Wellness.
Hi, I'm Trixie Mitchell, and this is
Slizwack.
And we are basically going to start off by just talking about ourselves, It's everybody's favorite topic, right?
Not so much, because, I'm a retired disabled vet that grew up in a different time, but I'm growing, I'm learning what is the appropriate thing.
Sure. Like how to act normal, or at least fit in with society at its norms.
Well, that's the thing. There's a new normal, and that's not necessarily bad.
It's not necessarily good either.
Well, it's okay. It's okay that a lot of the things that we learned when we were kids, we learned the wrong way to do things.
Sure.
As a tiny kid myself, my dad always told me, he was never like, okay, turn the other chick. He told me, he's like, hey, you're a little guy. If someone looks like they want to fight you, you jump on them, because they could hit you one time and that's it. You're tiny.
Yeah.
He said, get him, get in there. That's not the right thing.
Sure. Whereas me in normal people land, and I'm not saying this is good or bad, but this is how I raised my children. Don't throw the first punch, but throw the last one.
Absolutely.
And just because they don't land that first punch doesn't mean they didn't throw it.
Exactly.
You may get suspended from school. I'll take you out and buy you ice cream.
Yeah.
We'll have a movie day at home.
And
eat some popcorn. Call it good.
Yeah. Now, not so much.
Right.
In today's day and age, that kid's parents is going to try to sue you.
It's super, super true. Well, your kid was feeling doggy.
Yeah, and it's...
I mean, yeah, I know. Everybody's so sue happy anymore. It's disgusting. Makes it really hard to just, be normal.
Well, I hate to say it. You don't want to beat up somebody and have them come back and try to shoot up the school or something.
No shit.
Because that's a real thing now.
It is a real thing. It's just really strange how people are anymore. The violence is pretty out of control. And I don't know if it's always been that way, or if we're just more connected to it because of social media and internet and having access to all of this information and having it shoved down your throat.
I definitely think that the world has become smaller in the fact that, a lot of news that's happening, you can see it live. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially with what they got going on worldwide, they have the ability to be like, hey, I got my man live on the scene right now.
Right.
That technology is only 15 and 20 years old.
I know, but it's really getting...
And
it's hyped up.
It is, but and this is one of those things where I have to realize that the world is changing. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the world is not as violent as it once was. Is that an improvement? Absolutely. People should be better to each other. But I have to get out of that mindset that violence is the answer. And I'm not some crazy guy that's going around punching people in the face or something like that.
It doesn't mean you don't want to every second.
Exactly. It's an internal thing, and what I mean is they're not wrong. I have to adjust my thinking to a different standard.
Right.
Because that was accepted. It's now we know, as we evolve and get better and be better people to each other, we know that no, that's not the thing you need to do.
Right.
While a lot of people need a punch in the face,
yes,
the thing that's more productive is to talk to them and be like, okay, this is what we got going on. Why you doing this? Blah 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 blah. They might have some issues that they got going on that they need some help with.
Right.
While you want to give them a punch in the face may not be what they need.
Okay, so I work in criminal law, so I teeter between wanting to punch people in the face and wanting to help them. Now, it is my job to help them, and I do, and I help a lot of people.
Okay.
And a lot of what I do is get people into mental health help, because a lot of crime is based off of an underlying issue.
Absolutely.
So, there's a lot of programs in this county to, like, specialty courts and stuff, but I digress. I said all that to just say that, like, I really want to punch these people in the face sometimes. I really dislike it when people are crying about their kids when they're locked up. It's like, oh, was you thinking about them kids when you were transporting 40 pounds of fentanyl across state
Trying
lines?
to get that money?
Like...
And that's another thing. I come from a background where drugs are not necessarily bad per se. And what I mean is,
I am not of the mindset that all drugs are bad, okay? Like everything
in moderation.
Moderation, that's the word I'm looking for. Everything in moderation is important, However, you do know the consequences to these sorts of things. And if you have children and you're transporting 40 pounds of fentanyl,
100%.
You're not thinking about them kids.
Well, that's the thing. It's there's one thing I like to yell into the TV when I see some shit on the news. They talk about, oh, this guy went to jail or that guy went to jail. This is what I say. Gangsta shit. And what I mean is, that's part of it. You can freaking go out there and do illegal shit and get paid absolutely well. But you got to realize that taking the ride, getting the bracelets is part of it.
Right.
Don't come over here complaining to me because you're sitting in the lockup. How much money did you put away for lawyer and attorney fees? None? Well, you're not a real gangster. You're just a person out there doing illegal shit going to jail.
Right.
You're probably going to take...
You're a dumbass.
Yeah, you're going to take some jailhouse lawyer's advice and you're going to be fucked up for the rest of your life.
Well, and sorry, I decided my brain just had a fart. Doing illegal shit. Oh, I'll get back to it. Anyway, I was gonna say we all do illegal shit. Everybody is a criminal on some facet.
That is correct.
Nobody is 100%
talking to you, all those people doing
time.
56 miles an hour. I don't want to hear you in the fucking comments either.
I don't wear my seatbelt.
I hear that.
I have sold copious amounts of marijuana before it was legal. I did that. So we said we were going to talk about ourselves. One thing about me is I share too much information. So
well, for me, I don't share enough information. People are always like, "What the fuck is wrong with them?"
It's going to shock you, but I'm a lot more private than I was a few years ago.
Well, and that's another thing. I overshare on some stuff and then undershare on other stuff, like being in the military. Everybody knows how much money you make. Right. That's because everybody's freaking in the same program. Right now, if you know what rank a person is and how many years they've been in service, you can look their shit up right now on the federal website.
Sure, yeah. Imagine that's probably
so,
if you want it to be.
Yeah, in the military, yeah. I know how many kids. You may not know me, but if you're in my unit, I know how many kids you have. I know what their names are.
Right. Because
we have mandatory fun and we have these little picnics, so I know what their names are. Right? I'm not creeping on you. It's just like we hang out together.
I know shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird for me that people that work together, they don't know stuff like that about their coworkers. And don't get me wrong.
I always did.
And we're getting away from that simply because they're working somewhere for 20 and 30 years. That's not a real thing anymore.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody breaks the law, right?
I can agree with that.
Criminals are the only ones that get caught.
Yes, and here's the thing. Here's the thing.
And the ones that get caught are generally not that smart.
Here's a pro tip. All you future criminals out here, I'm talking to you. Okay? If you're sitting in jail and there's a dude sitting in jail next to you, don't take his fucking advice. He may have advice on some good stuff like what time is chow and how and where to work out and who's gonna shank you, but don't let him tell you how to do no criminal shit because he's sitting there in fucking jail with you right now. Both of you, fucking dumbasses.
Right. And he's also not an attorney. He's not going to give you good legal advice. So don't listen to those jailhouse attorneys because they are the root of all evil.
And it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like if I went to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, what do you think we should do? Motherfucker, I'm not here for... If I was going to make a decision, I would have made it home and done the fucking surgery.
I mean, that sounded like therapy.
I'm here for the fucking expert opinion.
Right.
And that's also something I'm freaking having an issue with. Like, I went to the doctor today. I've been having some issues with my gallbladder. Blah, 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 blah. There's some black sludge in there. They're going to remove it. So, they gave me an ultrasound. They gave me a freaking, what's the thing in your butt?
Oh, yeah, you had a colonoscopy.
A colonoscopy? They gave me the freaking one from the top through my throat, because I'm 50, okay? So they just, did all that stuff, did the ultrasound. They said, you got some black sludge in your lungs, in your freaking gallbladder. I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, we need to have you come in and talk to the doctor. For what?
Why am I here?
Yeah, well, the doctor, I go in today and I go to talk to him. He's like, so I just want to freaking walk you through, tell you some of the pros and cons. It's like, I don't need to hear pros and cons. I got black sludge in my gallbladder. Let's take it out. Mm-hmm. You just told me it's an in and out surgery. It's super. He's like, oh, well, some people are scared. I'm like, dude, no. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job.
Right.
But then he explained to me, the one thing that I'm not used to, is that, hey, we're going towards, we want to have people more involved in their surgeries, in their health care, and I'm all for that, but that's not what I'm used to. You show up at the hospital,
they tell you what's up.
They tell you what's wrong, okay, then they tell you what they're going to do, then they don't make an appointment. They'll send that appointment to you in the mail. You can just roll out. There's no stop and see the lady at the end, we're going to make your appointment. They're always going to make your appointment. They'll send you a little card in the mail, tell you when your appointment is.
Right.
This dude was in here asking me all kinds of questions like, so you don't need to be scared. I'm like, bro, whether I'm scared or not, you need to do whatever it is you need to do.
Right, I'm sick. I need this handled. Yeah.
And it's not killing me, but come on, man. That's like when you take your car to the mechanic and he says, hey, I looked at it. What do you think we should do? So that's not what I'm there for.
I'm not the pro here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Right.
But like I said, I'm adapting to different shit, and it's a lot of stuff is crazy to me.
Yeah, I know.
We
hang out a little bit.
It's Speaking of which, let's talk about it.
Okay.
You ready?
What are we talking about?
I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm freaking learning freaking new ways of doing things. Let's talk about Lizzo.
Okay.
I'm all for body positivity.
Absolutely.
I'm all for freaking everybody. Everybody can be healthy. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm not saying everybody should be the same size, but everybody can be healthy.
Sure. And,
unless you're a triathlon runner, there's something that everybody can do to improve their overall general health.
Absolutely. What's your beef with Lizzo?
Lizzo. I like Lizzo.
Yeah.
Okay? A trend-breaking freaking artist that plays an instrument that most people don't play, especially not in mainstream music, the flute.
Right.
Her
music is catchy.
Yeah, Andre 3000 jumped in there with they're probably like 2 flute players on the fucking top 100, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Very into the body positivity, showing people that bigger doesn't necessarily mean worse.
Right. Right.
Bigger people can be active. I'm all about it.
A lot of people don't even have any control over their weight, no matter how active they can be.
And that's why it's important to not gauge your health by your weight.
Definitely.
It's not, and I'm not trying to fat shame. I'm not trying to skinny shame either. But she was one of the body acceptance freaking informal spokesperson, informal representative, showing people, hey, we got this, no problem.
How do you get a bikini body? Put a bikini on the body.
There you go.
That's Lizzo.
Now, she's going headlong into the quote unquote weight loss journey.
Okay. I'm currently on one of those, so I can.
And everybody has one.
I can relate.
What is the difference now and then? Because before, it was like, hey, you got to accept me like this, blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, I'm dieting and exercising, I'm getting healthy because I don't need to be that big.
Okay.
Should I be mad, A, because all the people out there that she told it's okay to be, is cool to be that big, you can do it. And they're like,
I mean, really the only person that can answer this is her, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody has their own individual journey. Okay?
I can agree with that.
She might have come into some health issues that we know nothing about. There's been some scandal of her allegedly being inappropriate with some of her
with the glizzies.
And I don't know. I have not looked into it. I don't know a lot about it. I just know that there's been some scandal surrounding her. And I would imagine being in the spotlight and seeing yourself on stage, no matter what message you're trying to portray, when you see yourself in a certain light or spotlight in her case, she might, feel really insecure about it. People on social media, fans might have said something to her like, "We're worried about your health."
That was a part of her whole thing. Yeah. Her music, catchy and freaking, upbeat and all that stuff. Girl power. Oh, rub your golden vaginas together. All that shit.
Right.
Now, the message is, hey, you need to lose weight. Well, not only that, some people are accusing her of using Ozempic and other weight loss drugs, which I don't.
So what?
And that's like saying, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Well, exactly
how she's doing it.
Well,
if she's actually exercising and eating right, which you need to do on those drugs, those are not just a magic drug.
Yeah, you still got. What is happening here? Okay.
I don't know. But, they're not magic. I have been using semaglutide, and I have lost almost 50 pounds in almost 7 months. And it's felt slow, although that is a significant amount of weight. I did the math the other day, and y'all can do your own math to figure out how much I did weigh. But I was at 18.75% less body mass than I was 7 months ago when I started. So that's pretty great.
And here's the thing. I could give two fucks what Lizzo does. And what I mean is, I want her to be her best self. Whatever she envisions that as being, be that.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that there could be a slew of factors. Health issues. Her own self-esteem, seeing herself on stage bouncing around up there.
That is not...
I know that I do not like pictures of myself when I feel heavy. Not from the neck down. I take pictures of myself.
You got some sexy ass pictures.
I do, but I took them myself. Somebody else takes a picture of me, I look like a freaking heifer. And it just makes me not comfortable. I got triple chins and I'm cross-eyed, and I do have weird eyes, so that is
my main thing is, you can't be both. You can't come out and tell people it's okay to freaking be your size.
I don't think she's telling people it's not okay to be your size.
Well,
I think she's just making healthier choices. And she's also, in the last few years, gotten super influential amongst women, right? And
that's
by
what makes it
promoting being
makes it
larger,
the most dangerous. And what I mean is, I've been tracking this on the down low. I'm not a freaking super Lizzo fanatic. I don't know what she calls her followers, but I'm not like a Lizzo fanatic or anything like this.
Glizzos?
They probably don't call them that. They will be mad.
Probably would.
But the thing
My
is,
apologies.
it started out as a full supporter of all kinds of music. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music.
Me too.
Lizzo has some good music. Okay?
I enjoy it.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
makes me want to dance. It makes me feel good. It
Absolutely.
does something to my psyche.
There you go.
I love it.
But her message has been, especially in the beginning, hey, big girls, let's get it done. You're worth as much as smaller girls. Boo, ba, ba, ba. Catchy tune in between.
Sure.
But now, the message is the opposite.
I don't think so. I disagree that it's the opposite message. I think it's just her just taking, control of her own health. Like I said, there could be a slew of reasons as to why she's wanting to get healthier.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And so it's really hard to say without talking to her directly. And maybe she would like to give us a call and have a
Shout out
chat.
to you, Lizzo. So hit us up, wrwmedia@gmail.com. We'll be waiting.
I don't know. I don't think that she's changing the message. I think she's just trying to be healthier and maybe be a better example for the people that she influences. But as a woman, and I'm a fairly confident woman, even heavy, I still have I'm still pretty confident. I'm not beating myself up all the time. And even as a confident woman, when I see pictures of myself or videos of myself, I'm like, oh my God, I just want to crawl in a hole. And
For reference, ladies and gentlemen, she's pretty sexy. Just a little crazy in the head. But go ahead.
just a little crazy in the head. But yeah, no, I just, me wanting to lose weight wasn't about what other people felt about me. It was more about what I was feeling about myself.
I get that because as a dude, I'm in the process of losing weight.
And if I can influence people along the way, great.
But you can't in the beginning. Okay. Maybe it's not Lizzo. I have a problem with the majority of the body acceptance in general. And what I mean is I want everybody out there not to look the same, but I want them to be as healthy as their body will allow.
Sure.
I'm not freaking. If you eat 20 cheeseburgers a day, you're going to be a fat piece of shit.
I fucking love cheeseburgers.
I fucking love them. I've got a burger joint down the street that's just like,
I know.
We got two of them.
Two down the street. I ate at one of them today. Mainly because I was starving and somebody else was buying, but that's okay. Yeah, no, burgers are probably like my favorite food. I just don't hardly eat
But that's
them
the thing.
ever.
In moderation.
Yeah. I definitely don't eat a lot of that sort of thing. I hardly eat it ever. So today was quite a treat. I called it a cheap burger.
One of the reasons why it's so crazy to me is that before it was okay, you're a fat piece of shit. It's okay to be a fat piece of shit. No.
It's okay to be fat.
It's okay to be fat.
Yeah.
But for long-term general health, you want to try to do at least something to make not to make yourself healthy to a certain standard, because it doesn't matter what other people think of you, to extend your life to freaking so you can maximize your time with your kids, your time with your significant others, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me. Because at one point we were telling people in the body acceptance movement that, hey, it's okay that you're big. It's okay that, well, not necessarily that it's okay that you're big. It's okay that you're unhealthy.
Yeah, we don't want to promote that, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But there are healthy people in all different sizes. I have a good friend, you know her. She is just predisposition to be larger. She is incredibly active. She hikes all the time. She played sports in school. She continues to be really active into adulthood. I think she was on a softball team for a while, just doing all of these active things. And I didn't even have the energy for half of the stuff that she was doing. And I'm significantly lighter than she is. And she's even had weight loss surgery. And she's just predispositioned to be larger. And she's absolutely beautiful. And she's absolutely healthy.
And that's the thing. It's not about how you look. That's not, we've gotten hung up to, hey, everybody has to look a certain way. That is the most ridiculous shit that I have ever. Have you ever had to eat a bologna sandwich 20 times in a row?
No. My grandma used to make fried bologna sandwiches, and I loved them.
Yeah. But, you don't want it to be the same all the time.
Right.
Variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, and it's one thing that I'm dealing with. I am probably the fattest that I have ever been. This is the biggest that I have ever been. It's crazy to me simply because most of my life I've been probably at, between in accords with Army standards, between 15 and 21% body fat.
Right.
Normally I run about, when I was in there, I normally run about 16 to 18% body fat. Now, I weighed probably 20 pounds less than I do right now. Mm-hmm. And it's not, the thing that I'm looking at, and the basis of it is not that everybody should be a certain size.
No.
It's that everybody should be healthy.
Right.
Because just like you said, I going through this gallbladder thing, I thought I might have a thyroid problem.
Right.
If you got a thyroid problem, no matter how healthy you eat, your body is going to be on the larger side simply because of its limitations.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, there's people that are on the flip side of that. I know of people that are skinny as shit. Mm-hmm. But it's because of, for lack of a better term, mental health issues. and it's
Well, my daughter is she's really thin naturally. She is built like her grandmother on her dad's side. She's built like her dad. And that's what I ordered when I was pregnant.
Okay.
I want you to know. I was just like, if she could, because my former mother-in-law, she's like 75, and she has a rocking hot body.
Okay.
And she's healthy. She's a hiker. She lives off-grid, so she's chopping wood.
Oh, she's getting the exercise in.
She's getting just life exercise.
Okay.
Just trying to survive life.
Fair enough.
So that's like her jam. But she is just built so perfect. Like, anybody would want to have that body.
Well, see,
especially at that age. But, I would be happy with that body
that's the thing.
at 40.
People don't understand that there's people out there on both ends of the spectrum.
Right.
There's people here that may be a little bit bigger than necessary. There's people that may be a little bit smaller than necessary. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the root cause of that is the same.
Right.
It's just more acceptable to be skinny than it is to be bigger.
Well, societal standards have put a standard on us that nobody can really live up to unless you just happen to be built like my former mother-in-law.
And it's...
but P.S., she's got stage 4 lung cancer, so she's not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But she looks, she's got a rockin' hot body.
She's got a nice ass.
And that's what I'm getting at. Is she would gladly trade that rockin' hot body to freaking not have cancer.
Right.
She'd be like, in a hot second.
Right.
And it's the key, I think, is being comfortable with your body, as far as you can't let anybody tell you what makes you happy.
Right.
Okay? If you're as healthy as you can be, it doesn't matter what people say about you. They may not like the way you look, but fuck them. You could chase them down because they can't run a half mile. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for me, so I saw an old video, and by old, I mean it was like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Of me when I was much lighter, and life happened, and I put on a lot of weight and everything, and I wasn't liking what I was seeing in the mirror. But beyond just my superficial wanting to be pretty and stuff, my left hip in particular was in really, really bad shape.
Okay.
I mean, it hurt to walk, it hurt to lay down, it hurt to sit. If I got up from a sitting position, my hip just really wasn't there to support me like it should be. And it was really excruciating. And so that was a driving factor, is I really just wanted to feel better, mentally and physically better. And I do.
That's the main key thing that I want to get at right here is nobody can tell you what to do with your body. Okay? If you're satisfied with it, nobody should be able to come in here and be like, oh, that's all fucked up.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, luckily, I think I've had the benefit of being an attractive person. So no matter what weight I am, nobody really says anything to me about it.
Fair enough.
I always treat people really well, and I give nobody a reason to be like, you're a stupid fat bitch. Because I'm a nice, beautiful fat bitch. Get it right.
and that's the thing. That's a lot of it. This is, I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but sometimes when people have things in their mind that they're thinking of that other people aren't necessarily thinking of. So,
oh, right. So, like, if I'm concerned about my stomach hanging over my jeans, it's not something you're looking at.
Yeah.
You're not going, damn, Trix, your stomach's hanging over them jeans. Maybe you should do something about that.
Well, first of all, it's none of my business.
Nobody's judging you harder than you're judging yourself.
Exactly. And what I had to come to realize is most people, like you're saying, if you're nice to people and you're a good person, you breach the thing where it doesn't matter what you look like. You get to what the normal, which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You get to the normal. It doesn't matter what you look like, and that's really a lot of it. Is there's so many people that are hung up, and I'm not talking people that are crazy out of shape. I'm talking people that are in good health, but they may be a little bit larger. They have some type of internal issue because somebody that they know may think that they're too large. If you're healthy, that's it.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't know how I grew up with like body positivity as well as I have because I mean, of course, like, I'm in my head to a degree about what I look like. And I'm vain in the sense that you'll very rarely see me out of the house without makeup. It's just my jam. I enjoy doing it.
Fair enough.
It makes me feel good. I like it. And, but where my brain keeps farting and I keep having points to make. And then I forget what the hell I'm talking about.
It's the...
Oh, body positivity growing up. My mother does not have body positivity. She is so tiny. And,
she weighs like 100 pounds.
Constantly shrinking, And she's adorable, She's in her 60s. She's a redhead. She's a beautiful woman.
I love redheads. They're awesome.
She really is a beautiful woman. And my grandmother was this way as well. My grandmother was worse, and my mom has improved upon that, and then I have improved upon it even more. But my grandmother would freak out over an ounce difference on the scale. She'd be like, "Oh my God, Jess. Oh my God, Trixie. I was 101 yesterday, and today I'm 101.1. And I was like, did you have 5 peanut butter M&Ms, Grandma? God.
Well, see,
I'm just like, are you serious right now? Because I can fluctuate 10 pounds in a day, bro. Okay? I don't want to hear
Well, see, when I was growing up, it was the male version of that. Because we had stuff when I was growing up, we had the presidential physical fitness test. We had field day. They were only giving out trophies to winners back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, if you didn't win,
when I was a kid, too.
If you didn't win, you could get a bag of dicks over here.
I think the participation trophies started when I was well out of sports and probably middle of high school.
And
I was like, what is this?
That's a topic for another time. Yeah. But I got some points on that right there. But the thing was, it was the male version of that. It's okay, you need to be able to do push-ups. You need to be physically fit. Because dudes,
Because you need to be strong and masculine.
Yeah.
Where women need to be petite and quiet.
Speaking as a dude who has a higher pitched voice is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And your wife is 6 feet 7. So she's significantly taller than you are.
And it's,
I love that for you.
It's just one of those things. It's just...
Yeah.
Because, as a person, I do like a bigger girl.
And on behalf of all non-skinny women everywhere, we really appreciate the men that
fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round.
The first time I ever listened to those lyrics, I'd heard that song a bunch, right? But the first time I ever actually listened to the lyrics, I was like, fuck yeah, we do. Fuck yeah, we do.
No hate on people who are a little smaller. It's just a personal preference.
It's just everything is catered to smaller women. And, society caters to smaller women. Society says that they're more attractive and blah, 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 blah. I would say that this, men actually coming out of the closet and acknowledging that they like bigger women has only been in place maybe a decade.
Oh, for white dudes, maybe.
Okay. I live in conservative white Southern Oregon, so didn't have a lot of black people around.
Well, now it's becoming more
voluptuity.
Well, it's becoming more mainstream now.
Yeah.
So now black dudes are having a hard time because now everybody's trying to get freaking fat bottom girls.
Oh my gosh, I just loved it. I remember seeing a Dove commercial that had all different shapes and sizes and colors of women on it, and they were all wearing a white tank top and undies or something. And it was just this panel of all different types of women, and I thought, thank you.
Well, see,
thank you for having normal people on this thing.
Yes.
And that I felt was the start of a more global awareness of it being okay to be different.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a lot of people don't realize that not everybody likes girls that are skinny.
Right.
Okay? Let's get some variety up in there.
Are we trying to keep this PG here? Because I got something to say on the subject that's not necessarily...
We can cut it out later.
Okay. What I'm going to say, and I'll try to say this as PG as possible, is smaller girls can't take bigger men. They can.
In order for me to not get canceled, I'm going to say whatever you say on that.
But comfortably, it's better to have a little cushion back there.
In my experience, it's not...
If you catch my drift.
Well, in my experience, it's not... It's hard to have sex with somebody when it's not comfortable for them.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
It's not easy to have sex with somebody when you're uncomfortable.
So we may have a freaking WRW After Dark where we'll go more into depth on these, but at this particular time.
Well, we can stop that, but I'm just saying, like, I can understand why men would like a little more cushion.
Hey.
You know? I'm just saying. And,
put some meat on that bone.
you know, yeah. But I also understand, and I didn't really fully understand this until my daughter, who is naturally thin, lost weight.
Okay.
And she just wasn't healthy, and she just wasn't taking care of herself, and her mental health was struggling. And she was down to like 104 pounds.
Okay.
And she's like 5'9", so that's really, really thin. And I'm saying it as a compliment because I wish I was like that.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, girl, you so skinny. But she hears it like me saying, like somebody saying to me, like, that you need to lose some weight. You know, she was like, Mom, it hurts when you tell me that I'm thin. And I was like, so skinny shaming is a thing. Okay.
And that's so ridiculous.
It wasn't the first time I'd heard that, but it was the first time somebody I really cared about said it.
Well, I've heard
You know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't realize that you were experiencing that, you know. And now she's up to a healthy 120.
And that's what I mean
and
by...
she's really happy about it, and she looks amazing.
And that's what I mean by there's issues on both ends of the scale.
Yeah.
And that's why the core issue at the base of it should be being healthy. Mm-hmm. Whether you're 95 pounds, there are people out there who are healthy at 95 pounds.
Sure.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But there are also people out there that are healthy at 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. You're saying, no, that's absolutely untrue. Prime example. William the Refrigerator Perry. Mm-hmm. 360 pounds.
Big boy.
Professional athlete. Mm-hmm. Okay? He could probably... Now, that 360 pounds, he could probably do a 32 to 38-inch freaking vertical jump.
Wow.
So, I gotta say...
That's a lot of boy to jump.
Exactly. Now, that being said...
White boys can't jump.
That being said, he's probably... At the time he was playing football, he's probably in better shape than probably 90% of the average people walking around. Are there people that are smaller? Yes.
Absolutely.
Are they as healthy?
Yeah, right.
And
we're not saying, like, be 360 pounds healthy. We're just saying that it can happen.
It can happen. It's not...
But there's exceptions to all the rules.
And it's one thing that I'm working on
you
is
can
that...
also be dying at 360 pounds.
Exactly.
And you could also be dying at 90.
Yes. So, and it's, you know...
Balance. Balance is key.
Let's bring it to a close.
All right. It was nice talking with you.
We had a great day. We talked about some awesome stuff. I hope everybody got some different viewpoints. We aren't the people that are the experts, but we are the people that have an opinion.
Yes, we are. And we go on tangents all the time.
Hey, my name is Slizwack, and this is Trixie, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
That's it for today's episode of Well-Rooted Wellness. We hope you enjoyed the show and picked up a few nuggets of wisdom along the way. If you loved what you heard, why not help keep the podcast growing by making a donation? You'll find the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and remember, it's okay to not be okay, but together, we can get better. Until next time, stay well, stay rooted.